what we're going to start off with is olfaction. That's why I hold up a test tube. That makes a lot of sense, right? We need to test for the sense of smell. Now remember, any exam you do is going to be tailored to the problem for the patient. So if the guy's coming in dragging his arm like this and said it was fine 5 minutes ago, well, I'm thinking stroke, I'll go from there, right? If he comes in with his face smashed in, and he was in a car accident, then I might be more likely to check for olfaction. Okay? This is a simple one. This says coffee on it. Okay, now you're going to use normal stuff, right? Coffee, cinnamon, whatever. You're not going to use like 5-spice marsala because some people might not. And likewise, right? If I put, say, cinnamon under his nose, and he goes like nutmeg or pumpkin spice or something, that's okay, right? It's close enough. If I put coffee and he says, oh, that Ben Gay, obviously there's a problem here, right? And remember, not only can a sensation be decreased, it can also be changed, right? Especially for smell. You get a bonk on the head, suddenly things smell different. So I'm going to ask you to occlude one nostril, cover one side of your nose, close your eyes, please, and then tell me what you smell.
Coffee.
There we go. Okay. Should be 2 of these in your folder, metal, plastic, whatever we call this thing. Let's try the other one. Ooh, nobody say anything. All right, close the other side. And tell me what you smell. There we go. All right, so perfect. Like I said, if you come up with nutmeg or kitchen spice, that's close enough. So that's olfaction. Nice and simple. Okay, from there we move on to vision. And what's the first thing I have to do? I've got to make sure he can see. No point in doing this if he can't see my finger, right? So we need to test first peripheral vision and then central vision. Central's easy, right? That's your macula, that's visual acuity. You've all done the Snellen eye chart, right? That guy there. So those charts, there's a couple on the wall here. You stand 20 feet away. That would be 20 squares. And you cover one eye and you vault in through this routine, right? However, in your kits, you also have this helpful little fellow, the Rosenbaum. It's one of those ones, Bergerbaum, I don't remember. It has a scale on it, but in addition to numbers, it also has symbols and even X's and O's. So a patient who's not good at English, maybe illiterate, whatever, they can still say whether it's an X or an O, right? It's also got a little pupil scale at the bottom. It's got measurements on the back because pupil asymmetry, that kind of thing. So it's a really helpful little guy to have. And it replaces the Snellen chart on the wall. How do we use this? Same idea. He covers one eye. Where do I put it? I go right in line with his knee here. This is supposed to be about 14 inches away, a little more than a foot. And for everybody, right at the edge of the knee is pretty much. And then, same as the other eye chart I would ask him to read. So just put yourself in line with the knee and bring it straight up. What else do I need to consider for visual acuity, center of vision? That's your 20/20 stuff, that's your macula, that's your cones. Color, right? So color vision is only your macula, your center of vision. What color is her iPad case?
Red.
And what color is her laptop case?
Lime green.
Perfect, okay, so color's good, no problem there. So that's central testing. The chart, Snellen or Rosenberg-Baum, and the color. For visual peripheral vision, we've got to test for 2 things, okay? First, do they have full peripheral vision, right? You can basically see your fingers about here kind of thing. And then we'll test to see if they have good peripheral vision. Chelsea, over this way. Okay, look straight forward, sir. And I want you to point to my fingers when you see them, okay? Now, what am I going to have to do, right? Notice I've got to be above and below the eye. I've got to do the upper and lower quadrant, right? So you don't want to come across at the middle because you can't tell which quadrant you're looking at. All right, sorry about that. So he's looking straight ahead. That's kind of important. Tell me when you see my fingers. And tell me when you see my fingers again. Okay, so most of the time it should be right around here. Okay, you don't have quite 180, but it's close. So he has peripheral vision. Now I got to check to see if he has good peripheral vision. So what I'm going to do there, I'll do it at 2 different angles so you can all see it kind of thing. I'm going to look right at my nose here and tell me whether you see 1 or 2 fingers, okay?
2, 1, 2, 2.
Okay. Now same thing there. I had to go above and below. What I didn't do is go way out here. Right? I wasn't asking him to see it over here. We know he has good peripheral vision because of the wiggly fingers. We need to make sure that he can see well with that peripheral vision. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm making kind of a triangle, right? My shoulders here are where my hands go. So I've got this nice perfect triangle. So you're right about there. So wherever their shoulders are, right there, I'm just going to come back at about here. Right? Nice little, not triangle, diamond box, whatever. You don't need to be out here. And I don't want to be right there because that's center of vision. Right? So, peripheral, the wiggle fingers. Then you come around to the front. 1 or 2 fingers, that kind of thing. And of course, I got to be above and below his eyes, right? Lower and upper quadrants. Okay. What did I just forget there? Oh yeah, we're going to get there in a second. Okay. So, yeah, well, if it's something else, I'll keep that in mind. So what we have done now is showed that his central and peripheral vision are good. They're intact, it's full, the whole bit, right? We're looking for quadrantinopias, hemianopias, so that's why we got to go above and below. Okay, now we know that he can see. So it would be rather helpful for us to figure out if he can actually move his eyes properly. And that's where the old tracking the finger comes into play. So if you want me to track my finger, and you make a nice big H, okay? Because remember, the H tests every part, every individual eye muscle, right? If we're talking about this eye here, that's medial rectus, inferior oblique, superior oblique, lateral rectus, superior, inferior. So the advantage of the H is you test each eye muscle individually. Okay, so we've done smooth eye movements. They're good. What do we need to add into this? Can you track my finger or just watch it come into your nose? Beautiful. What am I looking for there other than the eyes coming in? Pupil constriction is what's going to happen, right? This is called the accommodation convergence reflex. Not the actual movement part. That's just you moving your eyes. But the pupils constrict and then dilate. And even the lens will change shape. That's what they call the accommodation part of things. So we just want to make sure he looks inward and comes back out. So if I've tested his eye movements smoothly, I now have to test them saccadic, right? Jumping. So when you look at the pen and look at my finger, go back and forth, nice and quick. Beautiful. Okay. And that way. Down here. And then over here. Me, I just like to keep the pen in the middle, okay? Because, you know, look from the pen to the finger, pen to the finger. So notice I just switched and kept it in the middle all the time. So that's checking for saccadic eye movements, right? Up, down, left, right. How do I do the other one? I want you to look at the wall and then look at the pen. And we get jumping version of convergence, right? So we do this one for smooth movement, and then we just ask them to look. Okay, so
if he can do smooth eye movement, would he not be able to jump as well?
well, that's the thing. I mean, they're governed by 2 different things, right? A saccadic eye movement is to acquire a target. Smooth eye movements are to track the thing. So absolutely, we talked about that thing where the schizophrenics can't do smooth tracking. Their eyes tend to jump. So there could be all kinds of reasons why there might be differences here. So it's just a standard test to make sure, because both are critical components, right? You're always jumping and acquiring, jumping. So we test for both. Okay. So olfaction, vision, and eye movements. Off you go.